Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Chocolate Thunder podcast. I'm Joshua Rosas. Oh man, the thing I want to talk to y'all about today, it's it's something that I think as comedians we all go through, and it kind of sucks sometimes, but other times it can be really beneficial, and that's bombing. For those of you who don't know, bombing is essentially when you go out there and you tell a joke or anything, or story, anything like that, to get a reaction from the audience, and it just does not go well at all. Either they boo, they don't like it. But I think the worst scenario for bombing is just silence. I do not like it. For me, it's like my palms will get all sweaty, and my anxiety just starts kind of going through the roof. It's yeah, bombing can definitely suck sometimes. It really lets you know where you stand with your jokes, because I'm sure other comedians have experienced this as well. But I've definitely written some jokes that I thought, oh yeah, this is it. This is the one that's gonna get the crowd going. It's gonna be great. Oh man, they're gonna laugh at this. It's gonna go out there and it's gonna murder. It's gonna kill. I'm gonna get so many laughs from this joke. And then you go out there, you do it, and it's nothing. Just crickets. Like sometimes not even crickets. Even the crickets are quiet. And it's oh man, it's such a bad feeling. It sucks so bad. But it definitely is beneficial, because it kind of lets you know where you need to improve. I mean, it lets you know, hey, that joke you thought was perfect and you thought was great. It just goes to show that no, it's really not, and it needs either to go back to the drawing board and be reworked and tried out again. And that's basically what comedy is. It's a lot of trial and error until you get the jokes down right. And even whenever you do get them right, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get a laugh, because this joke could kill and get everybody laughing with certain types of crowds, and then you get that one crowd that that's just not their thing. And no matter how much you work that joke, it's definitely humbling with the silence. I think too that's why I go and I record a lot of my sets at these open mics. That's a whole nother tangent, because I hate the sound of my voice, which is actually pretty funny that I started a podcast considering I hate hearing myself on recording. But yeah, I'll record my sets and I'll go back and listen to them to hear, like, oh, I mumbled over this part. I need to be more clear, or I'm rushing this. It takes away from the rhythm of the joke, or just stuff like that. It kind of helps me go back and critique myself, as well as hear the audience's reaction to certain stuff. Because there's been times that I've gone up there and I'm like, if I can't really hear the audience, I'll think I'm doing bad, or that they weren't really paying attention, or they might have not just been into it. And then I go back and I'll listen to the recording, and then you hear the laughs, you hear, okay, no, they were engaged in it. It's just that from where I was at, I couldn't hear them. But yeah, that's another bad feeling too, is when you think you're bombing but you're actually doing okay. I mean, it is a sigh of relief afterwards when you go back and hear that you did pretty good. But it definitely sucks in the moment while you're up there, because you think it's just going bad. You don't think that they're really into you at all, and it turns out no, they actually did like you. So I mean, it's bad in the moment, but it's a good payoff. It's definitely got its up and down. But even on my worst nights, though, I think whenever I have just the most horrible bomb, I think I'm just still happy to be doing comedy, because I love it. And like these last couple weeks that I haven't really been able to get up as much to do any mics, and I think, was it last week, I wasn't able to get up at all. It definitely was, it brought me down. But even when I'm bombing horribly, I just love being out there doing it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, and then it gives me reason to go back and work on jokes and stuff that needs to be sent back to the drawing board. Because I think I've gone over this in a previous episode, but when I can't really come up with new jokes, or the inspiration just isn't there for new jokes, I like to go back and rework old jokes that maybe didn't hit as hard, or like they may have gotten some laughs, but it was more like just a chuckle here and there. It wasn't really like, oh, the big laugh that we all try to get. Or it could be a joke that just bombed completely, something that really just did not work at all. It definitely keeps it keeps the brain stimulated, because then I really have to look and not let ego get in the way, because there's been plenty of times where I've told myself, no, it was just a weird crowd. These jokes, they're good. I know these jokes, they're good, but in reality, no, they do need the work. I'm sure other comedians feel this as well. It's more like the ego of, you don't want somebody to tell you that your idea is bad, and so to have to admit that maybe it's not so good or not so great, it's a bit to take in and accept. But once you can get past that, it kind of makes it easier to move forward and actually start reworking it. And I think it's just going to make us improve better as comedians. At least for me, I feel that way. But yeah, going back to bombing, it's just, I think it's worse. The worst bomb that I've had so far is, it was crickets. It was horrible. And, definitely had my anxiety running at full throttle. And right whenever I thought it couldn't get any worse, from the back of the room, somebody yelled out and heckled me, and their heckle got a bigger laugh than any of my jokes. And so now it's basically the audience is laughing at me, but not for in the way that I want them to laugh at me. I want them to laugh because my jokes were funny, it was great, they're having a good time. But now it's more like they're laughing at my expense, because clearly the jokes didn't work, and now I got some guy in the back of the room, saying I suck, or just ragging on me for in whatever way. And so yeah, it that one definitely, it stuck with me for a while. It took me a little time to get over that one, but that's what we do. We just kind of lick our wounds and feel sorry for ourselves for a little bit, and then you just kind of take it from there and get past it. So this way you can move on and start improving, and just kind of get things going back on the right track, just so you can improve and make things better. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I kind of wanted to just touch on that little subject and let y'all know how much it sucks to bomb, but how it can also be beneficial. But please leave a like, and consider subscribing. Maybe leave a comment as well. Do appreciate any feedback. Also, be sure to check out my social medias. The links will be in the description box below. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.